everyone, and welcome to another brand new episode of Topic Thunder here from the Outlaw Nation channel. Sorry.
The Outlaw Nation channel.
Sorry.
God.
I've had to delete some stuff. I'm sorry. I had to delete some stuff off the channel so I can create space to record. I'm sorry. I was in that mindset. Thank you all so much for joining us on the Top 10 channel for Topic Thunder here this week on the Top 10 show. Matt, this is so much fun. We do this for our patrons, our $5 and above patrons. They get to send in their questions, thoughts, and comments, and we get to respond to them, which is great.
What I think happened at the top there for you was the unintentional subconscious slip that Top 10 has taken over Outlaw Nation next week. And we were going to announce that it's on the main show's announcement. You guys probably heard it this past Tuesday.
Totally.
So head over to the Outlaw Nation and see what the new law Texas Rangers doing around here at these parts.
Hello.
I have no idea, but this is a show that we do for our patrons over at patreon.com/the top 10 with the number 10. They email in whatever they'd like us to talk about, and that's what we talk about. We don't have the slightest clue what it is beforehand, but we are happy to read it and answer. And I believe it is your turn to start.
Okay. All right. Yeah, let's start it off here from Lemke. Chris Lemke, Machine Gun Lemke here. Says, hey guys, hope everyone's all right over there. This Delta thing is scary as of this writing, and we are starting to see things get canceled. It's true. I already lost Jazz Fest, and I'm worried about my live sporting trips, including LA, Cincinnati, Cleveland, and back home to Baton Rouge. For the record, I had picked Toronto for New Year's, found an amazing hotel, and I'm hoping to catch a Raptors game while up there, assuming the border is open. Now, my question is, might be taboo, and if so, skip it and mock me. However, what is the best way to support the show monetarily? There's a solid crew of Patreon people, but does streaming on YouTube have a higher dollar per view than Spotify? Is there a specific podcast streaming app that pays out more specifically? I think the fans would like to know if there's solid ways to further contribute and help grow the brand and boost the signal. Oh, all right. Matt, you want to tackle that one?
Well, I think the best way to support us would be the same way that the Colombian cartels did. Well, at least one of them did, and they had a fake emerald mine.
Woo!
And they would sell basically bullshit emeralds up to their rich friends in the U.S.
True.
And they would overpay for them because those were actual payments for cocaine shipments. So we have an emerald farm. That's what they're called, right?
Yes.
And thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Oh, don't put this on me. Do I already need to get a separate lawyer from our corporate lawyer?
Oh, no, not again. Don't
do it however you want to, Lemke. We have a partnership with YouTube, and we also have a different one with Anchor and Spotify. I think technically the audio makes us a little bit more than the video.
Yes.
But however you want to support the show is appreciated. I know that you obviously support us at Patreon and you listen to the show and everything else. So I don't have anything specifically. If you're just asking what helps us most, I would say the audio. So please listen to the audio.
Yeah. And share it wherever you can.
Yeah, please.
Get people aboard.
Share it around if you know somebody that likes movies. If you like, know somebody that needs 2 more blowhards in their life. Well, guess what? We could be those 2 blowhards.
That's right. We could fill it in.
We happily fill that void in their life. But yeah, I don't have anything specific. What about you?
Yeah, it's more a matter of if you're already at the top level, the Boss Hog level, that's a great way to support. You can always give more by sending in a certain. What else can they always give? Can't they always give more in a certain? Can't they go above and beyond?
I think they can. I think you can. If you really wanted to, you can sign up for individual tiers.
Yes,
so you could sign up for every tier if you wanted to as well.
Oh yeah, I suppose you could. Create a new email and have it connected up, and support in that way. But yeah, I think we're trying to explore new ways to expand or help people donate more to the channel or donate more to the show, and how we can make that happen. We're always on the hunt. So if you've got some suggestions that you think would work for us, that would be great. Sponsorships are really 100% what really help us, especially on the audio side of things. So we try to keep that going as much as possible and be consistent with posting our shows and putting those breaks in the middle of shows. So yeah, those are those things that you can do to really help what we're doing
But-
here on the channel. Yeah.
Share it around.
Yeah, that's really number one.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's the biggest. If everybody that listened to us every week
Mhm.
was just a prick once and went to like two, 3 people in your life and were like,
Yeah.
you need to listen to this.
Right.
And boy, I hope we live up to that expectation. What I'd like you to do is stare at them intently while they listen to it, because there's no better listening experience
Oh, yeah,
than while someone's judging whether or not you're enjoying the thing they told you to check out.
exactly.
But yeah, sharing it around would help us more than anything. But Lemke, we know you're an avid supporter. That's how you got the fucking nickname Machine Gun Lemke.
It's true.
And we love it. And please keep sending in questions. We're happy to have it. And we thank you for the amount that you do support us. And I can't think of anything else. Should we move on?
Yeah, let's move on. All right. What's the next one?
That wasn't really a question. Would you like to read the next question?
No, it's your turn. So you go ahead, my man.
Okay. All right. This one comes from good old Fred Castillo and says, Hey, Matt and John, hope all is well. Here's a question for you two that I'm curious to know. What is your most disappointing, quote unquote, based on true events movie you've seen?
Oh.
I have several, but the one that sticks in my craw the most is Race the Sun with Jim Belushi and Halle Berry.
Okay.
When I researched it, I found out the studio altered the facts ridiculously. Also, the people from Canopoli really hated this movie. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it.
Canopoli.
Canopoli. Kaanapali.
Okay.
Kayanapoli?
Sure.
Is it like a Hawaiian?
Possibly.
Kayanapoli?
I don't like to get involved in these things. But all right, yeah.
What, proper pronunciation? Trust me, I know.
I don't want to stumble around and get it right or get it wrong. Yeah, no thanks.
I'm trying.
Yeah, I respect
and if
you. You got the guts to try.
Canopolians or Kaanapolians don't like it, well, I live in Los Angeles. Come find me, motherfuckers. I will take you on one at a time or all at once, and it's going to be shirtless and oiled up. So just be fucking prepared.
Hello. However you Canopolians like it.
Exactly. I'll give it to you. Thanks for taking my email, and y'all have a great day. Fred Castillo. So what is your most disappointing, quote unquote, based on true events?
Jesus.
I did. The reason I'm not the biggest fan of Bohemian Rhapsody is because the Live Aid day, they wrap up like in the week leading up to it, and especially the day, they wrap up like so many huge things. Him coming out to the band and telling them that he has AIDS, which happened after Live Aid, but the picking up the guy that was his partner for the rest of his life, and then going to his parents' house and coming out to his parents with the dude he just picked up,
right?
Who doesn't know? Oh, hey, while we're on the way to Live Aid, I'm also going to come out to my parents and announce you as my boyfriend,
right?
Then to go to Live Aid, it just like that killed me. You're compressing and altering the facts here, and it's really depreciating my enjoyment of what I thought was a pretty good movie up until that point became
Yeah. Okay.
But that's the first one came to mind. All right, so that's me stalling. What do you got?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's really tough. I don't know if there were any that I was really attached to, and I walked out of the theater and I was super mad. I'm looking through a list right now and trying to maybe find something that maybe kind of pissed me off, walking out of the theater going, that was a complete waste of time. I know I've had complaints specifically in certain films, like the idea that the way they portray Max Baer and Cinderella Man is really offensive when you go back and find out what he actually went through and what he was about, what he was like, and how that death affected him in the ring. I also think, and I hate to kind of crap on this, but I was in the film Wind Talkers. I think Wind Talkers is not a good exploration or a good film overall about what happened between those Navajo code talkers and the American soldiers in World War II. That's the one I have exposure to. Oh, fuck off. Pearl Harbor. There it is. Oh, Lord.
You really thought that was going to be like
Michael Bay. I thought, okay, you can do this. Let's see what you got. And because the actual Pearl Harbor bombing is incredible.
But that's what Michael Bay does well.
Exactly. So you're hoping, because look, I like 13 Hours. He told a really gritty story about those people that were left there in the Benghazi situation, regardless of what your politics are. He directed a fucking good movie about that. And I thought if he had brought that kind of level of desire and understanding to the stories that he was telling outside of the bombing and after the bombing, I think you could have had a fucking excellent movie that could have vied for Best Picture.
I know,
But instead, it's just pretty people whining about a love triangle. And then when the bombing happens and they live, or two of them live, and the other one possibly lives until you find out later, they bitch about the fact that they were ever in a love triangle. And it's so, yeah, I'm sorry. So fucking frustrating. So for me, Pearl Harbor really, really pissed me off when there was a real potential to be something more. So,
yeah, going into that, when they announced like Michael Bay, and I remember when I was on MTV, like they do their news segments, but they'd go behind the scenes on productions and stuff like that. And I saw the set of what they were going to have, like the actual mock front of the battleship being able, so the back half was on a green screen. It was on this rotational platform, and they could, like, when it was getting bombarded and going under, they could tilt it, and the actors could, it was like, oh, it's crazy. But that's the part of the movie I knew would succeed, because that's what Michael Bay can do. To me, 13 hours is anomalous. Anytime he does something, like, we praise him for the stuff in Transformers, like some of the action sequences and whatnot, but not for the story. Pearl Harbor, you praise him for the action sequences, but not for the story. And then he finally does something like in 13 hours with a story, and nobody goes to fucking see it. Just like,
I know,
not as many people wouldn't see Bumblebee, even though it's the best of the series, not even close, in my opinion.
Right.
And I think anybody with a functioning brain's opinion. So, come at me. At Matt Nost, go right ahead.
This don't need to be.
I feel the same way, like with Star Wars. Like, I'm not sure what movie you guys just watched that are praising so hard.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Baffles me too.
I will say, the Jimmy Hoffa movie with Jack Nicholson was pretty fucking terrible.
Well, I can say The Irishman.
I like
not terrible, but based on how much of this is true, we don't know what happened to Hoffa, so it becomes speculative at best. Then you go to the opposite with like Braveheart.
But I don't care that that's not
exactly, because the movie's awesome.
It's a damn good movie, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's like, it needs to be a story you have stakes in beforehand, and it's just destroyed.
Right.
Like, I guess Ali, because it was so underwhelming when you think of the size of Ali, but I still enjoy the movie. It just
I can't. I mean, he's good. He's good for what he does in the movie. But the movie overall really drops the ball with the Foreman situation, drops the ball with the Joe Frazier situation. The Howard Cosell, Freddie Pacheco stuff is really good, but everything else, or Angelo Dundee, everything else around it though, just really fucking crashes to the ground. And it's so frustrating because I wanted to have an incredible biopic of a man who I've admired and respected as an icon of the world. And it was a really big letdown, to be honest with you. So yeah,
I just assumed it was always going to be a letdown because Muhammad Ali is bigger than life. He's like the walking embodiment of a couple different ideas.
Right.
So it was always going to fail. So it didn't fail spectacularly. So I enjoyed it.
Okay. All right. What about Ashton Kutcher's Jobs?
I never saw it, but I saw the Fassbender Sorkin one.
Oh yeah. That was good.
That was good. I liked the premise of doing it on the release days, the 3 big release days.
Yeah.
And seeing the evolution of, the characters and the relationships and interactions as they progress over time.
Yep.
I found that a much more interesting delve into the man.
Yeah, I agree. I will say 1517 to Paris was a massive fucking disappointment. That was terrible. That was Clint overreaching in this idea of casting regular people to play these roles in a film, and the fact that he cast the actual people, or some of the actual people who were on that train, and they're not actors, and it was so obvious. It's different when you're not having people put a light on you and makeup and costume and 6 technicians sitting around you waiting for you to do your lines. There's no reality in that. You've got to, as an actor, you've got to find or create your reality. And most regular people who aren't prone to be actors can't. And so it showed in a lot of that movie that was really disappointing as hell from Clint. And I got his intention was in the right place, but the overall result was horrific, man. So, yeah. Okay.
There's got to be so many more of those, though. It's
tough for me to lists of 50s, and I can't think of any. But go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, it's just tough because most times the based on a true story, it's like you take it with a grain of salt. So I don't have the expectation level going in.
Right.
especially if it's a story I don't know anything about whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
So like William Wallace, I had never heard of before Braveheart.
Right. Me either. Yeah.
Just had not. I'm sorry, I had not heard of, you know, political and ideological strife
Yeah.
in the United Kingdom in the 14 and 1500s. I don't know. I don't know who the warring tribes, clans, factions,
Yeah. The clans.
empires were. I'm sorry, I can't know everything. I walked out of that going, how have I never heard of this dude?
Yeah.
I love history, but there's so many of those people.
There really are. You're
Yeah.
1,000% right. You're 1,000% right. There's so many of those people.
So yeah, but the list, have you pulled up a list? Nothing.
I went through 2 lists of 50 each, and nothing jumps to me. Not that all those. It's just not. It's just there's a lot of bad biopics on those, or bad based on true events movies on there, but they weren't any that I had been looking forward to.
Yeah.
So I think we've covered the ones that I would,
and I think
initially feel that way about. Yeah.
By and large, bad biopics are kind of the norm for a biopic.
Yeah, or middling. Yes. Yeah.
Like every once and again, they're excellent. You're like, that was great.
Mm-hmm.
But most of them are the new Aretha Franklin one.
Oh yeah, that was a bit of a. It's okay. It was a little bit of a letdown, but it's not like terrible. But yeah.
But I also don't know that Aretha's life had the sex, drugs, and rock and roll that you kind of want from like Ray Charles's life.
Yeah,
it's fucking bananas.
Yes,
sharecropper, the son of a sharecropper-ish, or I'm not sure what his mom's position was, but looked kind of like those living situations. To the going blind, to then going out on tour as a blind man, to then getting hooked on heroin as a touring musician, to boom. It's just wow, you went through a lot of shit. Not to say that Aretha didn't, but it's when you throw drugs into the mix of everything else you're going through, it's pretty impressive. Anybody gets to the other side.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's an excellent point, actually.
Yeah. Or Walk the Line.
Oh, which I loved. I loved Walk the Line. I thought it was damn good.
But you've got the drugs, you got the infidelity, you've got the, all the other things that lead into it. And Aretha lived a more standard life.
Yeah, true.
At least as far as artists of that level go.
Yeah.
I watched Genius, and it was like season 3. It's fine.
Oh yeah, the one with oh God, who plays her in that one? I forget.
What's her name? She's
Cynthia Erivo. Is it Cynthia Erivo who plays her?
I think so. That sounds about right. Amazing actress.
Yes,
it pretty much has the range to play any kind of part. Yeah, that's her.
Yeah, basically.
She's great. Everything she does, she is good as Aretha. I just think it's fleshing out. Like season 1 was Einstein. It is flawless.
Mm-hmm.
Season 2
great.
Yeah.
Because who was that? That was Jeffrey Rush.
That's Jeffrey Rush, and then the young guy that plays Einstein, I actually believe is Einstein more than Jeffrey Rush. Maybe it's because he's more of an unknown.
Agreed.
But I don't know. It feels more like him. But then season 2 was Picasso. I'm like, yes, he's a genius.
Yeah.
But I mean, Einstein is more of an apparent genius to all of us.
Yeah.
Whereas Picasso to me seems to be somewhat more subjective.
Yeah.
And then Aretha after that and be like, yeah, technically, but she also didn't play the instruments. She did produce a bunch of the tracks.
Yeah.
But like, she's a wildly popular figure. But her and Picasso, like, I don't know. I think that's a subjective call on genius. Whereas Einstein's like, seems unequivocal to me.
Yeah. Legitimate genius.
Yeah. It's like nobody else's brain really thinks like that. And he expanded the understanding of who, where, and what we are.
Yeah.
That dude paints pretty. It's a genius in and of its own. It's an artistic genius, but it's like, I don't know. I kind of reserve if you set it up as Einstein is the genius that we're the benchmark, that's a tough. I'm not saying the next one needs to be Stephen Hawking, but
this is why we need t-shirts. He paints pretty. Matt Nost.
He paints pretty. And trust me, my mom's a painter. And when she first got started, I used to find paintings that I like and ask her if she would replicate them. And I still have one hanging up to this day that she did for me. But I had her do a Picasso when I was like 18 because I just saw it and I loved it. I think it's called Woman in a Blue Studio.
Okay.
Or Woman in Blue in Studio, something like that.
Okay.
But I loved it. I had it sitting on my walls for 10 years.
Wow.
It just got damaged after moving so many times. And,
right.
But yeah, I think Picasso is truly an artistic genius, but at the same time, it's like, I have an Einstein.
Right.
gives me an understanding of fundamentally what I am, like what I am.
Well, some would argue Picasso's paintings do too.
Yeah,
it's all depending on
I guess
what works for you. You know?
True. You're right.
It's true. All right, so there you go. That's our answer for that one, man.
Do you mean the off answer? That's our
answer. Yeah, the off answer. Should we answer one more here? We got a few more minutes still left.
Yeah, do one more.
Sean Labua says, hey, Matt and John, thanks as always for the quality entertainment. I'm stealing this question from a Reddit post. Oh, interesting. Which director has the biggest gap between the high quality of his or her good movies and low quality of his or her bad movies? For example, sorry. I never knew this, but one of the commenters pointed out that Coppola directed the Robin Williams movie Jack. Exactly. Yeah. What are your thoughts on some other directors with really high highs and really low lows? Oh, that's excellent question.
Coppola was legitimately my first thought.
Yeah. Yep.
And then the next line is Coppola. I'd be like, well, way to steal my thought, Sean. Because you put out, I mean, think about that. You have 2 movies that are part of a trilogy, but 2 of them are considered, they're in the discussion for the greatest movie ever done.
Yes.
And then you throw Apocalypse Now into that mix. And then look at his later canon of work, and you're like,
and Conversation. Don't forget the Conversation.
Yeah, the Conversation.
Yeah.
And then where he went, like, it took huge chunks of time off.
Yeah.
And then when he would come back for something, like, oh, it's Coppola. And then after a while, it just became, you know what? It seems like he's taking on obviously not the heavier topics that he was doing before, because those clearly took a toll on him, especially Apocalypse Now.
Right.
I think we've talked about this in the past.
I think Apocalypse Now ruined him.
Yeah, I think that's why you see some of this fare later on, is because he carries the PTSD of having made Apocalypse Now and chooses projects that are nothing like the potential emotional turmoil, the physical amount of pain you have to put yourself in as you go to these weird locations.
Yeah.
Like all of it. It's just like, I'd rather have something that's a little bit more straightforward.
Yeah. Yeah.
Miller is one that's all over the road, or all over the map, because
George Miller.
Yeah.
Okay.
In that you have your Mad Maxes and then Babe.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a high or low, just like they're the erratic nature of that both came from the mind of the same man.
And Happy Feet.
Exactly.
Which is crazy. Yeah.
A bunch of different highs.
Yeah.
But between highs and lows. So who else has the
well, John McTiernan.
Sure.
I mean,
sure.
This is he does Predator, Die Hard, Hunt for Red October. Then you could argue Die Hard with a Vengeance in 95 and Thomas Crown Affair in 99.
Mm-hmm.
So from there,
it's
13th Warrior, Rollerball, Basic, and boof, he falls off the face of the earth as a director.
I kind of like 13th Warrior.
Yeah, 13th was okay. But then Rollerball, Basic, and nothing. Nothing since Basic in 2003, 18 years ago. Nothing.
And Rollerball, I never saw because the premise looks stupid.
It's horrific.
The trailer looks stupid. The posters look stupid. I was like, I'm out. Plus, I had what's his name from American Pie.
Yeah, Chris Klein. I think his name is.
Yeah, Chris Klein. I've never found that guy engaging.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He's just kind of a body on screen.
I would throw Oliver Stone in there.
Yeah.
You look at Salvador, Platoon, Wall Street, Talk Radio. I like Born on the 4th of July, Doors, JFK. Then Heaven and Earth really didn't do that well. Some people like Natural Born Killers. Nixon, he got shit for. U-Turn was kind of Any Given Sunday, suck my nuts. Alexander was not good. World Trade Center was good. W was good. But then, boom, South of the Border, nobody saw. Wall Street Money Never Sleeps. Ugh. Savages was horrific. Snowden was good. But then, boom, back into these Putin interviews and whatever. So a lot of this, if it's a graph, it's a lot of up and down in terms of Stone overall. You know, I don't think he's done, but I don't know if I would trust him to direct a movie that people would want to go see overall. And Rob Reiner is another one too. Let me look at Rob Reiner. Rye Princess Bride, When Harry Met Sally.
Oh yeah, well, A Few Good Men, but then you have North. Is that Rob Reiner?
North. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But then you get The American President after North. But then you get Ghosts of Mississippi, Story of Us, Alex and Emma, Rumor Has It. The bucket list is okay, but then flipped. 8, The Magic of Belle Isle, So It Goes, Being Charlie, LBJ, Shock and Awe. So just, had the highs, but then kind of middling and then poof, right down, man.
What about Ridley Scott?
Yeah, Ridley's a lot of ups and downs.
Exactly. His is peak valley, peak valley, peak valley, peak valley. It just does that over and over again.
You're absolutely right.
Well, because you got the early stuff, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Blade Runner, Alien.
Yep.
Black Rain, if you want to, but Legend in between there.
Yeah, Legend. Yeah.
Then Thelma and Louise.
Yep. 91.
Like high, sure. 1492.
Yeah.
Low.
Yeah.
White Squall, G.I. Jane. It's like, it's cratering. And then it goes Gladiator, fucking right back to the moon.
Right.
Hannibal, Black Hawk Down, back up.
Yeah.
I like Matchstick Men.
Me
Director's
too.
Cut of Kingdom of Heaven, I'm a fan of.
I got to watch it someday. Yep.
A Good Year, me. American Gangsters, it's good.
That's good.
Body of Lies, then Robin Hood, back down.
Yeah.
Prometheus, somewhat back to middle for me. Counselor, back down.
Yeah.
Exodus, Gods and Kings.
Horrific.
Horrific.
That movie. Horrific.
Followed by a movie that I love, The Martian. To go from Exodus, Gods and Kings to The Martian a year later. And then Alien Covenant. It's just like, that's all he does. Whereas House of Gucci, I'm actually looking forward to because it's got a 50-50 chance in my book.
Yeah.
Of being excellent.
Look, All the Money in the World is a goddamn good movie.
It is. And for all the reshoots they had to do,
yes,
it's even all the more impressive.
Yes, agreed. Yeah, so I'm with you. I'm looking forward to The Last Duel. Oh, sorry, The House of Gucci and The Last Duel.
Last Duel looks good too.
It looks good. But then somewhere in the back of his announced projects is Gladiator 2. And I'm really worried what we're going to get in Gladiator 2 there, man.
Well, I mean, hopefully it's just they move on because clearly he's dead.
Is he though?
He's dead. Just do the,
oh man.
It becomes a Spartacus thing. There were other slave revolts and other gladiatorial revolts. So
yeah.
Just pick one of those and call it Gladiator 2 and move forward. Tell the same fucking story, different names, different settings.
Yeah. Well, this site lists Joe Dante. I wonder if Joe Dante qualifies.
I don't know if his highs were high enough.
Right. I mean, Scorsese has a bunch of ups and downs. That's for fucking sure.
But I'd say it's mostly ups.
It is. What do you got with Dante? You got Gremlins, Explorers, Inner Space, The Burbs. People could argue. Gremlins 2, The New Batch. Then it's Matinee with just Small Soldiers, no thanks. Looney Tunes Back in Action is fucking horrific. The Hole, oh my god, I don't even remember the Hole.
Yeah, so far you have 2, maybe 3.
Yeah.
And the rest has just been bad to me.
Oof.
I don't think Dante counts.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. Yeah, so there you go. Those are some of those directors that just kind of, or, even the guy who directed well, I guess what you're saying, you want to have the highs, right? So yeah.
If you're comparing them to Coppola, okay, you
yeah.
need to have the super highs and then the super lows.
That's a fair point. Yeah.
Because then it becomes a discussion of the almost one-hit wonders. Maybe they had 2.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
What about Landis? Does he qualify? I mean,
maybe.
Coming to America. I love Blues Brothers. I know you don't.
Yeah, but I'm in the minority.
Right.
So I think that counts as a high.
Animal House, Blues Brothers, American Werewolf in London, Trading Places. That's within a 5-year span.
Mm-hmm.
Then he does Michael Jackson's Thriller, which people love. Then
that's not a movie.
That's okay, fine. Then Into the Night. It's a little short movie, but all right.
Oh, okay. Well, so are some YouTube clips now because they have the same production budget. Are we calling those little movies?
True. That's true. I don't know. I don't get involved in that. It's not my job to say yes or no.
You were just passing an opinion off, and now you're saying that you're going to distance yourself from the qualifications it takes to conjure an opinion. I don't think that's an accurate assessment of the situation, but okay.
Into the Night, middling. Spies Like Us, Tank. I don't care.
Like Us.
I don't care how many people defend that movie. It's crap.
It's good.
Three Amigos.
Oh, Three Amigos is a classic.
All right.
A classic. Oh my God.
Some kind of white humor I just don't get. And Coming to America,
My Little Buttercup. has the sweetest smile.
But Coming to America 88, right? Then Oscar in 1991, the fucking Stallone film. Oof. Then Innocent Blood, which nobody went to see. Beverly Hills Cop 3, which horrific. The Stupids was terrible. Blues Brothers 2000 was terrible. And then something called Burke and Hare in 2010, which I don't even remember that.
I mean, on some level, it fits better with the Coppola trajectory. Starts really high and then trails off, as opposed to like the Ridley Scott up and down and up and down.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
So it's closer to Sean's example, but yeah.
Sean LaBoa. All right. Well, there you go. I think that's a good answering of the question. And thank you, Sean LaBoa and Fred Tastic and Lemke for the questions, Matt.
Yeah, it was a wide array of questions today on Topic Thunder, and we appreciate that. And please head over there. We have the email address listed over there and rifle in whatever you'd like us to talk about. We don't read them beforehand, so it's always a surprise to us. And we find it interesting, what you guys are thinking about and what you'd like to get our opinions and thoughts on. So head over to patreon.com/the top 10 with the number 10. And you can find the email over there that you can rifle in your Topic Thunder questions, and follow the show at Top 10 Show. And on Instagram and YouTube, it is /the Top 10 podcast with the number 10. And please follow me at Matt Nost.
Yeah, you can follow me at The Roca Says on Twitter and on Instagram. All right, y'all take care of yourselves. Be well, and we'll talk to you next time with another brand new episode of Topic Thunder.